Well, Cord, you had a chance to talk to him, right?
Uh, what, the couple?
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to him on Tuesday actually. Yeah. And
Oh, okay. Cool.
yeah, we had like a little 20-minute phone call and just to find out a little bit more about them and explain a little more detail on what we were doing and make sure they were in the same mindset. I wanted to kind of find out what they were looking to accomplish. It was kind of interesting. Um, you got to watch what you assume because when I found out their age and the fact that they had, retired from being a doctor and anesthesiologist, I just assumed that they were wanting
Yeah.
to do something to, piddle around with. And they both corrected me and said, "No,
Yeah.
we see this is full time." And I was like, "What?" Yeah, but anyway, yeah, we got to watch the mindsets we put on people.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like think about it. Think about how much money they make, but how much money they pay out in malpractice insurance, and then putting money away. And then they were back in the days when they could probably have their own practice. So yeah, you're right. I mean, you just never know someone's reason. Hey, man, they want to make money like anyone else. They want to have a better lifestyle like anyone else. And look, if our business is a worthy business for all of you on this call, then it's going to be a worthy business for other people that are looking for the same things in life. You know what I mean? So don't ever apologize for what our business is able to do for anybody, and you should be proud of it. So whoever you're sitting in front of is a potential person that this might make a difference in their lives for. And so I wanted to really kind of talk about the whole recruiting um, process and kind of what you're looking to do. And I want to demystify it because I think um, everyone kind of wants it to happen now. And it's not a process of it all happening when you want it to happen, but it will happen when it happens. And the concept I want to get across to you is that the the investment in your business that you're putting in towards building it is um, is a residual benefit that happens down the road. Okay, so even though you think your business isn't growing, it's growing because you're growing. If you're growing, your business is growing. You have to equate the two, right? Because you are your business. What do I mean by that? You're the person that will attract the right people in, and sometimes you'll attract the wrong people. And as you become a better person, you're going to start attracting better people. You're going to be able to appeal to more diverse people that have a worthwhile dream and goal, and they're going to come into this thing. So, I guess what I urge you in terms of your mindset in building is have a long-term perspective, a delayed gratification perspective. See, because, and I used this analogy in the Cincinnati meeting last night, is that it is exactly the same thing as a farmer, okay? A farmer who plants a seed, right, and then waits. They till the soil, they get rid of the weeds, they fertilize it, right? And they know, because of years and years and years and eons of experience, that if you're going to plant a seed, it's going to grow. But the rules of the game is that when you plant the seed, the harvest always comes later, and it's usually not when you want it to happen sooner, but the harvest always comes later, and the harvest that you reap will always be of the same kind that you plant, right? And so in the planting, you got to make sure you're planting the right seed, and then fertilize the soil, and then your harvest comes later. Now, does a farmer plant the seed, and then he doesn't see any evidence 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later of anything growing? Does he get rid of his farm? No, because he knows that it's going to grow, it's going to happen, right? But he doesn't quit before it happens. Why doesn't he quit? Because he knows and has faith, because of what he's seen, that the harvest will come. And the harvest, when it comes, will be multiples of what he planted. Okay? So when you plant a seed, the harvest always comes later. The harvest is always in multiples, and the harvest is always of the same kind of that seed that grows. And so how this applies to our business is that the first seed was planted in you when you got the vision, when God put the vision in you to see this opportunity for what it is for you and your family. Some of you saw immediately the building opportunity. Some of you have started selling and saw the tremendous opportunity selling, but then have understood the power of building a business, building a future, building an income, and realizing that we sell to eat, but we build to live. Okay, we sell to eat, but we build to live. And living a lifestyle that matches no other lifestyle when you have the money coming in, not all based on your efforts. All right? So how this manifests is you planting this, the seed's planted in you, and then boom, you have this vision for what you want to accomplish. And in that vision of what you want to accomplish then translates into the game plan of getting you started in planting the seeds in your field. And that process is showing the opportunity, planting seeds in other people. The same seed of vision that was planted in you, now you are planting in other people. And those seeds, I promise you, you may not see it ever coming up, but it comes up later. And I can't tell you how many people I've recruited and brought into my business that someone who saw my video, someone who was considering our business, not even contacting us, mentions it to a friend. And then that friend calls me and says, hey, my buddy showed this to me. Who's your buddy? And it's someone who I didn't even know. They never contacted us, but he's fired up. Do you see how these seeds come up in other people? That's what's really cool about it. In fact, I had Tracy tell me about people that have contacted her recently that she thought were gone. Tracy, are you on the line? Hello, Tracy. Let's start. I think. Are we all unmuted? Yeah, our mute's off. So
Alex, this is
Tracy.
Tracy.
There. Hey, there you go.
I'm here. It takes me a little bit to get off mute.
Okay. So tell me about the stories of people that you had no idea that they were even still doing this thing, and so tell me about those people that you were talking to me about earlier.
I think I've had like 3 in the last week or two have just out of the blue, they're people who I fast-tracked, signed up for a license coach, and I followed up with them. This one lady, she just never takes my phone call, and so, I try to stay in touch with her, and I just hadn't heard from her, and then out of the blue, I got an email, said, Tracy, I finished, had an extra job, and I was working on it, but now I'm all fired up, and she's back, and she's in school, she's like determined to finish up in 2 weeks. And then a young man in New Mexico, also, he had been trying to gather the money, and he emailed me and said, Tracy, or texted me, I was super excited. You got the money together. This has been like a 4 months of process, and I have talked to him here and there, but he's like, I've got it, I'm going to do it, and he's just excited. And then there was one more just that I didn't, who actually got licensed, who finished this course, and just, oh, yay, I'm done, I'm finished. And I think it took him about 8 weeks or so. So, yeah, it is definitely what you're talking about. It gets a little discouraging, and I was really, I loved hearing Dane talk about it today, or Eric, about the, just recruiting so many people, and then it gets kind of frustrating, but to hear that that's how it is, or you just set your expectation, eventually some of them come through. It kind of keeps you going.
It does, doesn't it? It does keep you going. And you just never know what's going to happen. So if you're on my on my on my desktop on Join Me, I've kind of illustrated this process. So you have a seed of corn gets planted, then you have time, and then the seed comes up, and this is my terrible drawing of a ear of corn. It has multiple seeds. Okay, so I'm a visual person, so I wanted to show that this time here is the part about weary not in well doing, because you reap the harvest. And so this maybe this is really a talk of faith, that this thing will work if you work it. Okay, and the seeds will die, because here's the thing about seed, if we want to mix analogies, is that some of that seed's going to fall on fertile ground. Some of the seed's going to fall on rock, where the birds will come and eat it. Some of the seed will get choked up by weeds, right? Some of the seed will fall and on hard on rock and grow a very shallow root, which then will die. Then the seed that falls in fertile ground, it's not up to you to determine where it plants. We'd all love to make sure we plant our seed in fertile ground, but we do not know who's the fertile ground. So we got to be like Johnny Appleseed, and we just got to spread the seed everywhere. And then we know by faith that it's a 25% proposition, that 25% will fall in fertile ground, and where it will grow and produce 30, 60, 100-fold, right? Okay, so I know I'm mixing analogies here, but it's still powerful when you think about your job. What is your job? My job is just to plant the seed. God's job is to grow the seed. So that's all I got to do. So all I have to do is show the plan. I got to show the opportunity to people, and then I let them decide what they want to do. I let them decide that this is the right thing for them or it's not the right thing for them. I let them decide to get in, and then I let them decide if they want to continue on with licensed coach, and I let them decide if they want to keep, if they fail, I let them decide to quit or continue to study to pass it finally. And then I let them decide, once they get their license, they go through the training, I let them decide if they quit because the training's too much, or I let them decide to continue on and learn. I'll let them decide if they run into challenges, if they get pounded on the phone by negative people, they just can't hang in there long enough or can't call me to get some encouragement. I'll let them decide to quit, or I'll let them decide to power through it and get to the other side of it, knowing that everyone that has started with us have gone through the same thing. We've all walked the same road. My road is no different than the road you will walk if you want to get to my level and get to what kind of income I'm making, which I've averaged well over $500,000 a year for the last 15 years, right? So your path might take a few different turns, but you're not going to walk any different than mine. You're not going to have any less challenges. I pray that you do, but you're not going to have any less than I did, than Andy Albright did. So knowing that, all you have to do is persevere and keep walking. And I don't care how long it takes, but it will happen for you if you do the 18-player steps, like I said on the last conference call. If you do the 8 things, 8 steps to success. See, that's the fertilizer right there, gang. You fertilize this ground with the 8 steps. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's your fertilizer right there. To fertilize this ground so that you can get the harvest you're looking for. And here's the beautiful thing about it, is that if you plant the seed and you find the 25% that it resonates with, guess what? They're going to also be seed planters too, so that the harvest that they create will be part of your harvest as well. So, do you want them to plant seeds and not fertilize the soil? Because you know that if they plant the seeds and they themselves are not going to be worthy of a harvest, then it's just going to turn into a crap crop. Because they plant crap, they're going to get a crap crop. But if you become an 18-player step person, 8-step person, then they will as well. And then your harvest multiplies. I mean, that's where you get into the 100-fold, baby. You know what I mean? So, we're not in well-doing because you know that the harvest will happen. Okay? And you have to fertilize the soil by the 8 steps to success. Okay? The other thing is, you have to stay in long enough for this to happen. So that means having a long-term perspective, having this career perspective with us. See, because if we know that going executive vice president takes 4 agency managers and 2 key leaders, all right? Let's say you plant enough seeds to find your first agency manager, okay? But that agency manager took 3 years, so this is year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's just take a 10-year perspective. You say in your first year of planting seeds, showing the plan, you find your first person that's a listener. It's your first person, your 25% fertile ground. And it took them, let's just say 4 years to become an agency manager. Okay? Let's just 4 years. Let's give it 4 years. So you found your first one. And then you plant seeds in year 2. You plant seeds, you plant seeds, you plant seeds. And for some reason, it takes them 4 years to do the same thing. And you're like, I actually had 2 agency managers. I think you're like a district manager or something like that. You're probably making some money, but I'll get to the money part later. And then year 3, by planting seeds, by contracting, 5, 10 a month or whatever. You're showing the plan. You're sitting down with clients and showing them the opportunity. Okay, and you're just doing what your job, which is doing haystacks of showing the plan. Haystacks of showing the plan. Haystacks, I love that. That's another farming analogy. You just do your job, which is showing the plan, right? Year 4, you find it. Year 3, you find someone. So this is a 4-year proposition here. Okay, year 4, after you break your first AM, you find another AM. Okay, so that's year 7. Now you got 4 AMs at year 7, and then year 5, it took you 3 years to find a key leader. So when you broke an AM, you also have a key leader. In year 6, you get another key leader. So you got 4 AMs and 2 key leaders by year 8. Okay. Okay, so by year 8, you've got 4 AMs and 2 key leaders. Okay, by year 8. And you're making $1.2 million. Okay, but oh, by the way, by year 5, you're probably with 2 agency managers, and with a little bit of width, you're probably at 500,000 plus or minus 100,000. By year 6 and 7, you're probably in the 700,000 range. Yeah, okay. Now the question is, this is when you started showing the plan in year 1. So you decide when you get committed to building your business, this T minus, this is 0, minus 1, minus 2. I don't know how long it's going to take you to get to this point of committing to building your business. So let's say it took you 2 years to finally decide you really want to build this thing. You want to start showing the plan. You put Craigslist ads out there. You get on a resume program, okay? Or we get you on our interview program where we set you up on interviews and you start interviewing people. We've got a lot of different ways to help you, all right? Then the clock starts ticking. And I'm just saying, if someone took 4 years, let's say they took 3 years. But let's say it took you 2 years to get there, so it's 10 years. It took you 2 years to get to this point, and then another 8 years to go EVP. And oh, by the way, by year 5 in this program, you're making $500,000. Is that okay? Is that okay to have like a 10-year look down the road? Because look, 10 years, think about 10 years ago. Think about where you were 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was 42, or 10 years ago, I was 44. Oh man, I'm like feeling younger and younger every day, Tracy. 10 years ago, I was 26. No, I was 44. What was I doing at 44? Where was I 10 years ago? I mean, 10 years ago, my daughter Zoe, who is 19, was 9 years old. She's a freshman in college. 10 years ago, she was 9 years old. What grade are you in when you're 9? Is that 3rd grade? Something like that. So, and I think about how fast did my daughter grow up from 3rd grade to freshman in college. Think about how fast 10 years went by for you. Look back at 10 years, where you were 10 years ago. You ever look back where you were 10 years ago and you wonder, gosh, if I only did this, if I didn't make that decision, if I didn't decide to marry that knucklehead. Just kidding. If I didn't, you know what I'm saying? You look back 10 years ago, did you make any decisions 10 years ago that you are experiencing the benefit or the regret of that decision 10 years ago? Think how fast 10 years went by in your life. It seems the older I get, the faster my life kind of flies by. You know, because right now it's springtime, but in a blink of an eye, gang, I promise you, we're going to be talking Christmas time, and I'm going to have my Santa hat on, and I'll be doing a conference call about overcoming holiday objections in a blink of an eye. What is this? This is April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 7 months. 7 months will fly by like this. And I don't know how many of you on this call are going to still be here. I'm praying all of you. I guarantee you this, if you start recruiting and building, you will be here by the time I have my Santa cap on and doing my Overcoming the Holiday Objections conference call. But when you look back at where you were 10 years ago, and you look at where you are today, guess what? In your hands right now, because of this awesome program, your 10 years from now can be so freaking awesome. And it's not just because of the money that you made, but it's because of the friends that you made along the way. Because I promise you, these agency managers and these key leaders that you brought on board become your dearest friends in the world. People that you take a bullet for, people that you love, that you pray for, people that when they're going through hardships that you're suffering with, knowing that you've got partners and people that care about you. Junk that's going on in your life, you can share with each other and help each other through. Your foxhole buddies. That goes beyond financial benefit. These lives will be changed because you decided to do this part in planting the seed. People that appreciate you. People whose lives will have changed significantly because you were on this earth and you decided to capture this vision of building this life. And the money's good. You know what? But the money is only a measure of your value that you've added to other people's lives. See, because when I look at going EVP, I don't look at me becoming an executive vice president. I don't look at that as a goal. The goal I look for is, did I find enough people I could help to get to agency manager and to key leader? Did I find enough people? Did I do enough for them? Did I serve them? That's the way I look at EVP. Did I serve enough people? See, my goal as an EVP, my goal is to help enough people get what they want and need in their lives financially and spiritually, honestly. I mean, I'm just trying to get people closer to God. If I can get them closer to God, then, at the end of my life, I'll see them on the other side. We'll be having fun, man. Hey, Cord, why don't you come to my mansion? Tracy, why don't you come to my mansion? Let's have a party. Let's have a big barbecue. I'm sure they have pigs in heaven, man. I hope so, because I love bacon. Oh, man. I love barbecue. I love East Carolina barbecue, Cord, and I love West Carolina barbecue. I guess there's a difference. I do, man. I love every part of that pig. Let me know on some pig ear. And dude, when I was young, man, I chowed on pork rinds, man. I'm one of them. And I didn't know it was a Southern thing. It was a Filipino thing for sure, man. Pork rinds and vinegar. Oh, golly, man. It just brings me back. Takes me back. Anyway, so maybe I have a little redneck in this brown neck right here. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. I mean, that's why I identify with North Carolinians so much. North Kakalaki. Anyway. But, see, I want the rest of your life to be the best of your life, man. And when you got a game plan and when you're driving towards something in the future that you're fired up about, the way you live your life today is so awesome. This was a tremendous compliment, and at the Cincinnati meeting, it was funny because, I come to the meeting, and then April and Patrick said, okay, man, here's a marker. You get to do the plan. I go, dude, I just wanted to sit back in the back row. I just wanted to enjoy watching the opportunity meeting. I wanted to shake people's hands and uplift people. And I just wanted to do my thing and just sit in the back and just kind of, be back there just like a regular agent, because I'm a regular agent. And so they said, no, you're showing the plan, dude. I go, oh, man, seriously? Okay. All right, I'll show the plan. And so I go up in the plan, and, during the training, April said just the kindest thing. She goes, she was training on work, on the 18-player steps, on the concept of work. And she, in the middle of her talk, she goes, Alex, I have to say something to you. Tonight, you had this light inside you that was just glowing. I go, really? She goes, and she just kind of, and then everyone said, yeah, it was like this light that was inside you. It was like this thing. I go, no, I don't know, man. I just I say the words that come to my heart. And so I identify that as kind of the Holy Spirit personally. But I also identify it as the reason why is that I have a vision for the future. And I think that the reason why that Holy Spirit thing happens is I tap into the vision that God gave me to go after something that's worthwhile, that has meaning, that at the end of my life I can be, I can say that I'm hoping to hear, well done, good and faithful servant, that I'm pursuing the things that God laid out for me. And then I'm chasing it, and I have this, and I think that's the light they're talking about, that I'm chasing this vision, I'm chasing that, whatever that is, okay, and what that is isn't the money, it isn't EVP, it's making a significant difference in all these people right here, because all these people represent people. Like an agency manager represents about 25, 30 agents that are producing. Key leaders, about 8 or 9, 10, 12 agents that are producing. Okay, when you add all that up together, and if you got a base shop, that's hundreds of people that you have an impact on. And it could be a temporary impact. What I hope, if someone leaves me is that I've given them something of value that they can take in their next career, in their next endeavor. That maybe I've helped them become a little more spiritual in recognizing God's call in their lives, to kind of notice God's hand in their lives, and to maybe pray more, and to understand where that is in their life. Maybe I'm praying that for someone who's with us only for a short time. But people for the long haul, man, I want to focus on mentoring you so you can make an impact on other people. And oh, by the way, you're supporting your family. And that's just a beautiful thing about this, is that the income goals that you need to do for your family all become part and parcel of serving others. And that is that light, that vision, I think, right? And I want people to be attracted to that part in you, that you're chasing something that's meaningful, something more than yourself, something bigger than you. The people will see that and want to get in because they see that in you. And I promise you, I need you to do that, because there are people that just don't get me. They don't get the hair, they don't get the glasses, they don't get the color of my skin, they don't get the slant of my eyes. They don't get me. And that's okay. I want you to get them, because it doesn't have to be, it's not about me. It's about you attracting people that I can't attract. You finding people out there that groove on your vibe, not on mine. Because if I can get you doing that, then I've got to worry about that segment of people that you're going to relate to. Does that make sense, man? I think that, so this is, in my opinion, this is one of the best things you can do. It's a worthwhile dream or goal that will have tremendous impact. You're going to leave a wake of people whose lives have been changed because you were in this world, and because a seed had been planted in you, and that you do these things that provide meaning to you, to your family, and to other people. The other thing, because I have 5 children, is I want them to see the light of someone chasing a worthwhile dream or goal too. I want my daughter Zoe to chase her dream of becoming a film actress. I want my son Athen to chase his dream of being a fighter pilot in the Air Force. My children to chase their dreams because they see their daddy doing the same. And they know that I'm with them, but there's times where I can't be with them. And the reasons I can't be with them is not because I'm drinking in the bar with my buddies. It's because I'm serving other people. I'm helping other people. I'm going out there knowing that I love my family. And one of the ways I show that I love my family is to go out and serve others by being away from them to serve other people. And so I want to create a legacy within my own family and my own children of providing an example of someone that chases something, someone that overcomes disaster, that overcomes hard stuff in their lives, right? Someone's got to do it, and I don't want it to be some basketball player or some pro football player. I want it to be me. I want it to be me, man. Shouldn't you want to be your example to your kids that you're chasing a worthwhile dream or goal? Are you giving them an example of fear and doubt? You see, you don't learn fear out of the womb. When you come out of the womb, the only thing that you have is the fear of falling. You see infants when they kind of shake because, right? They're really born literally with zero fear other than those survival things that they need. Every fear that you have is what you've learned. And where do you learn it from? Well, one of the chief people that imprint that on you are your parents, your friends. So here's convicting all of you parents out there. Are you giving your kids an example of fear and doubt? Because I promise you, that fear and doubt that you're experiencing and not overcoming is going to be imprinted on your children, and that's something that they got to get over. I don't want to give my kids that example of fear and doubt. I want them to see a daddy that's out there chasing and overcoming failure, overcoming problems, overcoming challenges. I want them to see that this life ain't easy and that you're going to get kicked in the butt, but it's more important that you get up again. I want to see them see a winner that gets up again when they've fallen down and not cower behind fear and doubt and then retract into someone who just stays at home and just hides from the world that they could be making an impact. I never want to give my kids that example, because then I will, it's a curse on their life. I don't ever want to be a curse on their life, but giving them a bad example of someone who suffers from fear and doubt. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't know why I said that, but it just came out. So I'm not going to apologize because that was inside. Anyway, it's true. So anyway, gang, I hope this makes sense to you. I hope that you get committed right here. Now, you might have to ramp up to that, but ramp up quickly, because then you could enjoy the fruits of your work. And it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it, I promise you. It's going to be worth it. It'll get you up every day, fired up to go do battle again, to find another winner, to join your army, to go change people's lives, man. Prosperity, inspiration, eternity. That's why we do this thing. Prosperity for us and our friends and our families. Inspiration. Enjoying God's gifts on this earth. Traveling to places so we can inspire other people. Giving our money away to worthy causes to build God's kingdom. And then the third one, eternity. Knowing that our life here is just a drop in the ocean of eternity. But we got to make our lives count every day so that at the end of our lives we can hear those words, well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into my joy. Man, that fires me up. I want this to be worth it for you too. All right? So anyway, gang, I'm fired up. I'm excited. Spring is here. Man, now it's time to rock the house. Let's get this thing going. If you want to know about our resume program, if you want to know about our interview program where we set up interviews for you, if you want to know about tapping into Craigslist, it's all a phone call away. Give me a call. Let me know what you want to do in getting this started, and I will help you, mentor you, do everything I can to help you do it. I promise. And take advantage of the system, but do these 8 steps to success. Fertilize the ground that you're on, that you are, for the seed inside you, your vision, man, and you will accelerate this process way quicker. All right? So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being on the call. God bless you all, man. Have a great weekend. Rock the house, man. Do the haystacks. Keep tick marking your activity, because that's all this is about. Sowing the seeds, taking care of clients, and rocking. See you, everybody. God bless you. Welcome.